Let's take a look at some of the games hidden away on my Xbox 360 hard drive. Alright everyone, hope you are doing well. Thanks for pressing play once again. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul, and this video is all about my Xbox 360. So the Xbox 360, this is my original one from back in the day, and I was going to play a game on it the other day, and unfortunately the disc tray stuck, and it has done it before, and it was one of those days where I was kind of not in the mood to fix it or sort it out, and it was then that I just thought I'm going to have a look through what games I've actually got installed on my hard drive on there, because I've not been through or looked through them for quite a while now, and I've got loads of games on it actually, and some of them are, you know, games that have been delisted and aren't available anymore unless you emulate them, you know, and there's a few sort of hidden gems in there, and games that you just don't hear about that often these days. So I just thought, let's just do a little bit of footage from some of those games. I'll take you through some of the games on my hard drive, and just have a chat about some of the games that I'm going to play. So yeah, probably about 4 games. So let's get into it. So the first game we're going to have a look at, I thought, would be Shadow Complex. So I don't know if anybody remembers this game or not. I certainly do, because I remember really enjoying it. It's a cracking game, Shadow Complex. Metroidvania kind of platform type game. And yeah, I think back in the day this won quite a few awards, and it was quite sort of highly well regarded really, and you can see why. It was just an excellent game. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So I just thought, let's have a quick look through some of this game. Campaign, main adventure. I'm going to just continue. I can't remember whereabouts into the game I am from this game save, probably near the end. I'll try not to do any spoilers. Let's have a look. But yeah, essentially Metroidvania type game, 2D sort of platformer, really nice graphics on it. I think this game got a remaster. I think it was, I think it originally came out on the Xbox 360, and then I think there was a PlayStation 3 version as well. But I think it had got a remaster on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I could be wrong. Whether it's still available on the stores or not, I'm going to skip that cutscene. I'm not sure, but let's have a quick blast of it. So it's been a long time since I've played this. But I always remember just really enjoying it, thinking it was really good. There's a big mech over there. I think there's a gun turret up there actually. Let me see if I can get up there. Do I have to turn it on? I think I have to turn it on. But yeah, I can't actually remember much about the sort of storyline for this game particularly. Don't seem to be able to do anything with that gun turret. Alright, let's just go and shoot it then. But even now, those graphics don't look too bad, do they? Got it. I think this must have been right sort of near toward the end of the game. That's a big map there. I don't think I can take that out yet. Yeah, it's shielded. Not quite sure why this gun turret's not working. There's another one of those big robots there. Two of them actually. But yeah, I remember really loving this game. But yeah, like I said, I'm sure it got a remaster on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, digitally anyway. I think there might have even been, I think Limited Run might have even done a release of this at some point too, a physical release of it. Because it did have a bit of a cult following, I think, so I can imagine people asking for this. Obviously this is a bit more of an action part of the game, but the rest of the game is a little bit more sort of confined to corridors and the complex and underground caves and that sort of thing, so there's a bit more of a map, whereas this is all set outside. But yeah, it's well worth a look. If you've never played it, I do fully recommend it, because it was quite good. Right, so next up I thought we'd have a look at this one. Now this is an absolute classic game. Everybody knows this game, I think. But unfortunately not everybody has this game because it is so expensive these days, which is a shame. I've never had this physical copy of it. I love this series, and it is of course Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now I've had this on the 360. Did I finish it? I think I finished it, but we won't look at the finished game. Just whack a new game in and start from the beginning and just have a quick look at it. Absolutely amazing visuals in this game, and the score is just incredible, so I'll try not to talk too much over the top of it.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world. It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Some great dialogue at the start of this.
You steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Perhaps the same could be said of all religions. Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
So this is like the prologue type part of the game. Going to turn it up so you can hear a bit of the score. Not sure how much this version of it differs from the original PlayStation 1 version. But graphically, it looks beautiful on here. The animation's amazing as well. You can kind of see why it has become such an expensive game, the original physical copy of it. must admit, it's one of those games, if I did have that infinite pot of money, I'd go straight out and buy this physically. Incredible score for it, really. I remember having it on CD at one point. I had this full CD soundtrack for Symphony of the Night. Castlevania. Awesome. Such a great series of games, Castlevania. My personal favourite will always be Super Castlevania, but it's hard to beat this one. This is a fantastic game. Look at them graphics. Well, quite honestly, I could probably sit here and play this all night if I could. But I do want us to show you some other games on here.
What is your business here? I've come to put an end to this. Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack. I will not. You shall regret those words. We will meet again. What?
Oh no! So we start from scratch. But yeah, what a game! I could quite happily now sit here and play this all night. But like I said, I do want to show you some other games, so let's try a different game. Right, so this next game is one I don't think loads of people played. Well, no, not loads of people played it, but possibly don't know about it either, because, well, it didn't do very well. And it's called Hydrophobia. So basically a bit of a third-person puzzle platform type game. Its main sort of gimmick in this is, as you can see there, the sort of water effects. Now I can't remember the actual storyline to this, but you're in like a facility and chaos ensues and explosions and the facility starts to get flooded. And it's all about using the water and the water physics to get through the game, really. And it's really quite a clever game. So I'm just going to continue from wherever I left off last time. I have a feeling I finished this, but I do feel like I've played it a little bit since at some point, years and years ago. So it might be somewhere near the start of the game, but we'll have a look. Graphically, it's a little bit rough and ready. So, yeah, third person game. I can't remember the name. Is it Kate? I think she might be called Kate or something like that. It's a little bit rough and ready looking at times. Controls do take a little bit of getting used to as well. But it just had something about it. And I remember really enjoying it. Now, it was going to be the first part of a trilogy of games. They were going to do a Hydrophobia, or release it as Hydrophobia parts 1 to 3, I think it was. But because this one didn't really perform particularly well, sadly the other two parts never saw light of day apparently. So there you can see like the water effects, and the water now starting to flood the facility. There we go. So yeah, the other parts of the trilogy never actually got released, which was a bit of a shame really, because I think it did end on a little bit of a cliffhanger, this one. I must admit, I can't really remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm sure we'll figure it out. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, and it reminds me a little bit of like Deep Blue Sea in that you kind of have to go through different parts of all the areas to kind of put water into, and it's all kind of quite sort of puzzly and physics related and water related, so there's quite a lot of this sort of traversing around as well. But yeah, it's just a shame we never really got to see where these games were going to go. But anyway, yeah, that's a quick look at Hydrophobia. Worth checking out if you can. So like I said, there are tons of games on my hard drive here, and some of them, you know, there's others here that I'd really love to show, but I have to show this one as well, because this is probably my favourite on here. It's a game you can't get anywhere, I don't think, anymore. It was totally delisted. I think it did get released on PlayStation 3 as well. But it's X-Men the arcade game, one of my all-time favourite arcade games, coin-ops. Just, it's a very basic sort of beat 'em up in a way, but graphically it just looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and it's just a load of fun to play. So let's have a quick look at X-Men the arcade game. Right, let's get into the game. So, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Dazzler, Cyclops, But the one I always used to be is Colossus. So we're going to go with Colossus this time.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aimed to destroy the world. Humans could do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men. Go and save the city.
So they knew how to make scrolling beat 'em ups in the arcades back in the 90s. I think this was about 1992, I want to guess. Pretty sure it was 92. There's not a huge amount to it. It's a bit of a button basher. You do have that special ability, which if this was in an arcade and you were in there and someone was playing it, one of the sound effects you would probably hear more and more often would be, because it used to be really loud, it used to just carry that sound across an arcade. But again, I think this did get a release on the PlayStation as well, but it's not one of those games that's ever appeared anywhere since. I don't know whether it's a copyright thing. I'm assuming sort of Konami don't own the rights to this anymore, or to the X-Men, and that's possibly why it stopped this being released anywhere. Not sure, but it seems a shame because it is just such a great game. Obviously, if you can find the arcade cabinet anywhere in arcades, you know, sort of classic arcades, you'd hope maybe that you'd be able to play it on that again. But playing it on a console, yeah, you'd be pretty lucky. So this is the first level boss, Pyro. As was the case with a lot of these scrolling beat 'em up arcade coin-ops, a lot of the end of level bosses kind of get reused in later levels. Pyro's not the most difficult one. But yeah, just another game from my childhood, that one. Absolutely love X-Men the arcade. Amazing game. One more. Love it. So those were just a couple of games from my hard drive and my Xbox 360 from back in the day, Xbox Live Arcade. What an amazing service that was back then. Obviously this is before Game Pass and PS Plus and everything. Xbox Live Arcade, it was just sort of such a revolutionary thing, and one of the things that actually made the Xbox 360 probably the leader in that generation. I think it was such an amazing service, and yeah, so many great games in it, and there's still loads of great games in that hard drive of mine as well. So if you like this video, if you've not minded the rough and readiness of me showing you some of those games, yeah, maybe I'll do another one of these with some different games and show you some other sort of quirky ones that are hidden away in there, as well as some sort of more well-known games that I've got. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, really appreciate it if you could hit that subscription button. That'd be great, and I will see you next time.